Hello, I'm so happy that you're here. My name is Sandy Laratonda, and I'm the creator of our wonderful group, Untame Your Soul and Unleash Unlimited Abundance. I would like to tell you a little bit about myself and why I felt called to create this group. Um, Please chime in if you're here and you're watching. Just, give me a hello, ask me any questions, and I'll be happy to respond. If I have my little comment bar on the side, so I'll be able to tell when you say something. Um, just a little bit about me, and I find this really interesting because I seem to attract a lot of people that have had same experiences as me or similar experiences. And I noticed that a few of you that joined the group today and yesterday have had similar experiences, either living with chronic pain or being in terrible accidents. Whether it be specific pain or just kind of a fibromyalgia everywhere pain. That's very cellular and, scientifically so right now in our present life and condition, but it's also cellular in the fact that it's memories from previous lives and things that we hold on to. So a little bit about me. When it was, let's see, back in 2014 in November, I decided that I was going to ride my horse, right? Simple enough. So she's 22 years old, a Percheron quarter horse cross, gorgeous white horse, huge, big girl, tall. And I got on her, I trusted her, and she spooked. And I wasn't wearing a helmet. I went flying and I landed, flat head to toe on my back, um, on the ground, very hard, and completely blacked out. Um, the next thing I remember was this intense emerald green light. And, oh, hi, Teresa, how are you? I remember this intense emerald green light just kind of like wash over me. And, I was awake. And I woke up to a broken back and blown discs in my neck. And, a hospital visit and a surgery and over a year of therapies and recovery. And I was a English teacher, a high school English teacher for 20 years, including my student teaching time. And it was in November this accident happened, and I had to miss the rest of the school year. And, the school year goes until June. So that was a big, big thing for me because I had taken on the identity of, being an English teacher, and I couldn't do that anymore. Especially because of my head injury. I had a traumatic brain injury. I actually have what's called hygromas in the front of my forehead, and they are water-filled, fluid-filled sacs that are not invasive enough to drain because it would be more dangerous to go through that brain surgery than to just leave them alone. So they're there. I'll have them, forever. And I kind of joke that they're kind of like my whale sonar now. So I have a lot of things that I didn't have before my accident, and I lost some things that I did have before my accident. I had to go through a period of relearning how to talk. Things I would say would come out jumbled. My husband and children, bless their souls, they had to deal with a mom who didn't remember and who couldn't express herself. So that made for a very angry mom and wife and a very difficult to get along with person. I struggled a lot, and I just by chance, my daughter was painting one day at the table. I think she was she's 9 now this month. So what she would have been about 6, 5, or going to be turning 6. She asked me to draw something for her. Now, if you knew me before the accident, you would know that I had like zero artistic talent in my body. I would do vocabulary lessons for my students, and part of it would be a visual aspect, and I would draw stick figures because that's the best I could do. And even my stick figures were pretty, lacking. So she asked me to draw an animal, and I said, okay, telling her that it may or may not look like what she wanted it to look like, but I would try my best. And I surprised all of us and I drew her animal. It was a bear. And it was a bear. Like, I really did that. That really came from me. And then I started exploring more and being more in touch with my creativity. And a lot of things started coming out. You know, a lot of things started to resonate. And I picked up paints and acrylic paints, and I had never done that before ever in my life. And I painted these amazing, amazing pictures. People wanted my art. They wanted to pay me for my art. And I'm thinking, whoa, you know, and I always gravitated toward really bright, bright colors. And, oh, hi, Lacey. Thanks for joining. And if you guys want to drop a comment anytime, feel free. You know, I can read them, I can see. So at any rate, my artistic talent kind of just developed from there, and I really started using all these bright colors, and I started playing around with different modalities, using alcohol inks, using acrylics, multimedia. And what I really noticed is that all of the therapies that I had been through because of my accident, you know, all of the doctor prescribed therapies, which actually even included a psychologist and a counselor, because I had severe depression after my accident. So severe that I actually became an alcoholic. And I went to a 30-day rehab in a beautiful place in Georgia. And that's kind of when I got even more affirmation that this was really my path. And you know how, like, when you keep getting those signs and, you know, there's a little voice in the back of your head saying, do this, you know, this is what's going to make you happy, and this is your sole purpose. And you're like, yeah, but I got to do this first, and I got to do this, and I got like, oh, this whole, do you see my list? So yeah, I had that, and I fought it. I fought it for a good 3 years. Well, I'm very happy to say that this past summer, I embraced it. And I am moving forward in my soul's true path and true journey. And what that is to help other people heal through accessing their creativity. You don't have to have any kind of a talent, because what you have in you is perfect just the way it is. Being an English teacher for 20 years, you know, I have the written word and the poetic part, and, you know, songs. And I'm also, I used to be a music major before I was an English major, and I play piano and I sing. So I have the music side to this, and now all of a sudden, you know, the artistic side to this, and I can sketch and draw, and I can show you how to do these things. But the really amazing thing was that it didn't feel like therapy to me, but it was. It was the best therapy that I ever had. And I did it to myself and for myself. And I don't know if any of you guys out there are meditators or have even tried meditation. Some people don't, because it's simply too difficult for them, or, you know, they think that they have to do it a certain way. Well, you don't. You can simply sit in silence. You can paint, you can write, you can read. That's all meditation, as long as you get your mind into a state where, you know, you can think and process differently. So that's my goal in this group, is to help you guys through your traumas, through those, you know, cellular holds on you. And this is a very spiritual place, a very spiritual group. Whether you believe in, you know, God, Buddha, Jehovah, you know, whoever it may be, source is what I refer to it as. Source, the original creator. The source energy is in us all, and we have the power to heal ourselves through that. And there's a lot of negative talk about therapies, especially talk therapies, especially if you've been through a trauma that, when you dig it up, like a childhood trauma, like some kind of abuse, that talking about it actually makes it worse and actually deepens that hold in your cellular structure. And the best thing you can do is to move past that is to release that through a creative process. And I have beautiful creative processes for us to go through. So if you have any art supplies or even just a pencil and an old notebook, that would be just fine. And I'm working on some apps to get, in case you don't have any of that. You can access free apps online to enable to do digital art, which is really cool in itself. So I digress. This is kind of what happens with my brain injury. I was talking to you about how I discovered my skills. And when I would paint these pictures, I would have canvases everywhere. And, we live in a small farmhouse. And my husband's like, San, this is really clogging up the space. You have to find somewhere to put this. So I decided that I would put it in other people's houses. What a brilliant idea. So I started giving away my stuff. And then the coolest thing happened, you guys. People started telling me how my art was helping them, that they could feel a certain energy in my art, in my color choices, and that the room they would put it in would the energy would change. Like some people say, they're an empath, and you can walk into a room and you can feel right away, hey Elisa, how are you? You can tell right away when people are, I don't know, in the middle of a fight, even if like they don't say a word, like you walk into that energy and it smacks you like a wall. Well, I started doing this, and people, they could feel that energy, and it was positive energy. It wasn't energy that was dark or heavy. And, I realized that, hey, I'm infusing these healing things in through my paintings, and I'm going to help other people go through their life, past lives, if you want to, and restructure and heal and rewrite your story. Because we've all been taught conditioning since the moment we're born. We're conditioned to be a certain way. We're conditioned to have certain manners. We're conditioned to go to school and learn certain things and to be part of the societal machine. And that just doesn't work, because then you're missing all of your skills, you're missing all of your talents, and they're kind of being shoved down. Now I know that schools do the best they can with what they have as far as creativity goes, and the arts and music and everything in the schools. Sorry, my scarf is really trying to fly off my head. Anyway, the arts in the schools are still very lacking. And that's something that you do as a hobby. That's not something you do for your career. And that's what is pushed on our children, when it's actually the creativity and the arts that they most need in order to become a higher spiritual being, and in order to embrace this ascension process that Earth is going through. Right now, today is December 5th. And tomorrow is the end of Mercury retrograde. And I have an amazing friend, Golden Hawk in the House of Life. That is her company. And she does, she did astrology. And basically, Mercury retrogrades can kick your ass. So if you've been feeling like crap the past 3 weeks, that's why. Mercury retrograde just simply means when we can see Mercury, but it appears to be going backwards, spinning backwards. And it kind of just messes all of us up and messes our energetic systems up. And it just kind of wreaks havoc on everybody. So if you've been snappy lately, if you've been arguing with people, that's why. So that ends tomorrow. And we're all going to start feeling really, really good. And we're going to be able to enjoy, our holiday season and our family and our friends, and, create beautiful new relationships. But especially when you're going through these dark times like this Mercury retrograde, you have to have a release for that. There's no need to hold on to it. So, grab a paintbrush, paint some stuff, Scribble if you want to. Crayola crayons are awesome to work with. So I'll have, activities for us to do and try. I'll probably throw up some live stream, webinars like, hey, work with me, and here's how this will work. But the deeper thing that I do is work in the chakra systems. And we have way more than 7 chakras, but the 7 chakras are what I'm going to start with. And we'll start with the root chakra and kind of go through that, and I'll explain how creativity can help release energetic blocks that are holding you back from your abundance. It's really a process, and it's all connected. And once you kind of get a hold of that process, you just start shedding stuff faster than you can believe, and things start happening. Positive things start happening. It's amazing. You start getting things that you want. Things start going your way. It's about intention setting and shedding the old and embracing the new. And it doesn't have to be scary. And you don't have to hold on to those past traumas and hurts and losses. And it's okay to embrace those and then to release them with love, because they were a part of you and they did shape how you are today. So knowing that, I just wanted to do a quick hello and welcome you guys. And like I said, it is December 6th, so my group is a couple of days old. So founding members, thank you so much for being here with me. And please share with all your friends, anybody who you think might benefit from a group like this. And if you have any questions or want to talk about anything, you can PM me. I do have private courses that I offer that are way more intense than what you're going to get in this group, but I also am a giver, and I love, love, love giving. So I'm going to have amazing content in here for you, absolutely for free. So my goal is to help you reach your abundance in whatever that may be and however that may look for you. So it was wonderful to talk to you, and I look forward to a long, loving relationship. And I'll see you here tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.